Building confidence comes from within, not from drugs. It comes from within. So any problem that you are facing, try look for appropriate solution to the problem. Drug is not the right solution to any problem that you are facing.
Hello and welcome back to PSB Bold and Fear podcast. And today we have a very special guest from Nigeria called Anali, and we are doing a social entrepreneur series. The reason that we are focusing on social entrepreneurship is very critical, and the reason that we are having a discussion here and now is very simple. Each and every one of us is going through some or the other humanitarian crisis in every part of the world, and there are young entrepreneurs who are trying to provide right set of solution and make an impact, not just by generating money or growing economy, but at the same time trying to bring that impact into our life, which can shape the world for a better tomorrow. So today we are going to start our special series where we are in collaboration with a lot of international speakers, and we are starting it with Anali. So welcome Anali for PSB Bold and Fear podcast, and please introduce yourself to everyone.
Thank you so much for the privilege. I am honored to be your guest this morning at the PSB podcast. My name is Anali Samuel George. I am from Nigeria and I currently serve as the Information Officer of the Rural and Urban Aid for Youth Development Initiatives. It is a non-governmental organization situated in Nigeria, and we focus on illicit drug crop cultivation, consumption, trafficking, and violence. We campaign against them. We try provide alternative lifestyle, and we work on helping drug addicts coming back to their normal selves. Thank you.
That's a very critical topic that we are discussing today. Trying to create awareness when it comes to alcoholism, drug abuse, harming ourselves or people around us. So, I want to ask you, Anali, what are the challenges that you have faced in your specific country? And I'm not going to be very specific by dividing Nigeria and India. I just want to talk in general term so that me and you and all of us who's listening to this podcast, I want them to get an insight that it doesn't matter where you come from, which country you belong to. The problem, the core issues remain similar, what I have understood over multiple conversations with you and many other speakers. So that's what I want to ask you. Firstly, what are the challenges are you currently facing?
Thank you so much. That is a very good question because not just in Nigeria, not just in India, but the world at large, we suffer from the drug use disorder. Firstly, what is drug? Drug is a substance which, when taken, have either negative or positive effect on the body. So that is drug. Any chemical substance that alters the rate of reaction in the body. So some people have gone to the extent of abusing drug. Why? They think if they take it, it will help them to do work faster. Some as a result of peer pressure, others because of they just want to take it for fun. As a result, while introducing what I was doing, I mentioned three things. I said our organization focused on three aspects: illicit drug crop cultivation, trafficking, consumption, and violence. People have gone to the extent of cultivating drugs today. Why? Because of the income they get from it. Because if one is to have a, let's just say, cannabis farm today, he earns more than someone who plants vegetable because the cost of purchasing marijuana is very high. Imagine if you have a cocaine of this size, just very small tiny size, you can get millions of dollars from it. Whereas if you have a large quantity of, let's just say, vegetable, you just earn a little money. So because of that, people have gone into cultivating these drug substances for their own selfish interest, whereas it has negative effects on the society. On the second objective of our organization that we focus on is drug consumption. From day to day, thousands of people have been apprehended for trafficking drugs. You see them at when you hear news report at the seaport, at the airport. They go to the extent of some they swallow it, some put it in their bags, others just try to do some packaging in order to traffic these drug substances as a result of the money they will get from it. And at the end of the day, it have a negative effect on the society at large, not just in Nigeria, not just in India, but the world. Look at the effect of drug abuse. This drug that we are talking about, some people are already dependent on it. That is, some have become addicts that they cannot do without drug. But it may interest you to know that this drug, I want to tell you some fact about drug. Drug that you are seeing can be so expensive. Imagine someone who is earning about $500 in a month, and that person spends about $5 on drug in a day. If you calculate it times 30 or 31 days, how much will be left to take care of himself or take care of his family? Sometimes when people take these drug substances, they just don't know what to do. Many of them who are abusers of drug neglect their family. Sometimes when they get affected by this drug or they get drunk, when they get home, they just look at the family, they won't provide for the family, or they just abandon them. Oh, they are high, they just go to bed, they sleep, or they just leave them. Some people go to the extent of even beating their wife and their children as a result of this influence from drug. It may also interest you to know that about 35 million people in the world suffer from drug disorder. And do you know that 14.3%, that is about 14.3 million people in Nigeria engage in this? What is left to the world? Majority of young ones engage in this drug use. Age 15 to 64, they use these drug substances. Some, as I've said, is as a result of peer pressure, because you see your friend taking it and you just want to feel belong, you want to fit into the peer. They say take drugs, then you go ahead, you take it. Some as a result of wanting to build confidence. Some may say, I am the shy type, I don't talk much, so maybe if I take drug, it will help me become more bold and confident in withstanding any situation. But that is not the case. Drug does not build your confidence, because when you take drug, at that point in time you feel high. But what if the effect of that drug subside? Will you still maintain that confidence or boldness? No. Confidence is not what comes from the outside, it comes from the inside. It is what is in you, not what you add to yourself. And there has been lots of cases of young people who engage in illicit drug crop cultivation and consumption. Majority, if I should say, about 30% of youth in Nigeria and about 40% of youth in the world engage in drug abuse. You see them, they go to school, they have this one that they wrap. There is one that we call cannabis. They wrap it in paper and they smoke. They go to schools, they share with their friend, and they turn themselves to, they call themselves gangs. So they say we are the bad gangs, we are the bad boys. And they call themselves we are the big boys and the big girls in school. But this doesn't make you big. Because if they should know the effect of this drug, they will not be taking it. It is sad to say that majority of young ones and even adults taking drugs have lost their lives. Some have been in prison, some have rot in jail. Why? Some who take drug have the tendency of engaging in rape, because when you take it, you don't know what you are doing. You see a lady, then you want to have sexual relationship with the lady, you rape, and as a result, you go to jail. Others who take these hard drug substances that is not encouraged in the country, which is called exhibit, they arrest them and they put them to jail. So it is just an irony of life that is so sad to say that majority of young ones are now into this drug abuse. And the effect may not show now, because some say I take drug, there is no effect on my body. But the long time effect is very, very sad and very, very bad to hear. Because at the end of the day, it results to lung and chest and heart diseases. These drug substances that we are talking about also affect the immune system. Some of it causes cancer, it causes other kind of various diseases that you can think about that is not pleasant to the hearing, and at most it result to mental health disorder because people become mentally unstable when they take these hard drug substances. So it is a problem that is facing the world at large, and it's so sad to say that daily many young ones are going into taking these drug substances for the reasons that I have mentioned.
Yeah. Actually, we are discussing about a very important topic because you also focus on youth. I also focus on youth and the problem the youth are facing. And what you mentioned right now, that sounds really, really sad. But at the same time, my question to you will be next, will be very simple. Yes, we are talking about very critical issues, and it is not something that none of us are aware of. It's not like that. We know that drugs are bad for your health, it's not good, but at the same time it is very easily available to us. And I don't know how it is seen in Nigeria, but in India I can definitely say that it is cool to take drugs. Sorry, it is cool to take drugs and use those drug substances, do experimentation at the early stage of adulthood, um, and brag about it honestly, that I have done this was my experience was, and this is seen as a very brave move, because to get hold of such drugs it's not easy. You have to do some kind of illegal stuff, and getting those people, and it is expensive at the same time. My question to you will be, because you are creating this awareness, I would really like you to dive into the psyche of these people, because they also know that it is unhealthy to, in long term it is not healthy. Yes, people go to prison, they are unstable, uh, and all this is happening because of the what do you call nutrition deficiency. They are not taking proper food. At the same time we are completely dependent on tourists, and we also know there are a lot of family which is getting destroyed because of somebody who is completely into this, and they thought that they can come out of it, and they started it out of, let's say, a trend, or peer pressure, or just to look very masculine or cool or interesting. But later on they found out that they can't come out of that zone. My question is very simple. What have you discovered to understand their psyche? They have done that.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Thank you so much for that question. You know, most of these people who engage in drugs, some just feel, just as you have mentioned, that it is cool. It's something cool. You just take it and you are okay. It doesn't have any effect. Do you know that majority of people who are dependent on drug today, they started at a very tender age. That is why it is difficult for them to leave it. Some want to leave this drug, but it is difficult because once you just step in, you try to leave it, but you just find it difficult. I have an experience sometimes ago. I came across a friend, a childhood friend, who is, as a result of unemployment and the likes, is just feel mentally unstable, and he decided to mingle with friends who take these drug substances, and they introduced him to it. At first, he was like, "No, I don't want to take it. It is. I know that it is not good. We see it in the movies. We know the effect of these drug substances." But they told him, "This drug is cool. Just take it. You'll be fine. It's okay. You're a big boy. You need to just get along." So he decided to try it. According to what he told me, he said he tried. Although at first he didn't feel cool, but later, just because of the peers, he started taking it. He said from smoking, he decided to take other substances like the one they inject, the cocaine, there is one they call shisha. And you know, the way the movie industry paints it today, when you watch a movie, you just see maybe the don, they call people some don, or the boss or the actor. You see them taking drugs or they smoke, and it feels cool to them, so they feel like, oh, this feels cool, I want to be a don, I want to be boss, I want to be an actor, so let me just take this and feel cool. But it is sad for you to hear that majority of these people are trying hard to leave this drug, but it is difficult for them. They are trying. There are many cases of people that we have seen who are now mentally unstable. An incident happened about 2 months ago. It was a family friend of mine who at one point in time was critically sick. I personally took him to the hospital. So when the doctor was checking, because at first we thought he had an ulcer, so we were like, oh, ulcer, let us treat ulcer. But I said, no, let us go to the hospital to confirm what is wrong with you. So when we got to the hospital, the doctor asked, do you use drugs? He said, no. The doctor asked, do you smoke? He said, no. The doctor said, he is asking, this boy I'm talking about is just 18 years old. He's just 18. So the doctor said, just tell me the truth so that I will know the kind of drug I can prescribe for you. He said no. So the doctor went ahead and prescribed a drug for him. After running some tests, we discovered that he had pneumonia. So we gave him drugs for pneumonia as the doctor prescribed. He used the drug. After about 2 days, he started reacting. At first, he was feeling weak, he couldn't eat, he was just behaving strange. So we're confused. What is wrong? What is wrong? At the extent that he started fainting, collapsing, we had to rush him back to the hospital. What is wrong? Then it was so serious that we had to move him from the state where I was to another state for treatment. It was then that intense care and intense test was run through his body. They got his blood, they had to run those tests, and they discovered that there were drug systems in his body, drugs that he took about 3 to 4 days ago. He said, when we now started interrogating him, I said, Victor, where did you take this drug from? He said he didn't know that. I know him to be a good boy. He doesn't take drug. But he said he went for a birthday party with his friends, and they were taking drugs. So they gave him a drink. So he said he didn't know that they have put this drug inside the drink. To tell you, this boy nearly died. He nearly died. We rushed him to the hospital. They gave him different type of injection before this boy could get himself. So the truth is this: when you go along with people, they tell you it is cool. You may feel it is cool. You may feel it is okay. There is no effect in it. But when you get into it, you will find out that it is not cool. I grew up in the ghetto. I'm from the trenches. I know these drug addicts very well. I meet brothers, like big brothers from the street, who take drug. At one point in time, I sold drugs. I sold cigarettes at a very young age. It was my past, though. It was my past. I sold drugs. I know what this looks like. So I know the in and out of drugs. And that is what has propelled me, that my eyes have been open to it, that no, now I know that this is really bad, that I need to go against this. I need to enlighten people that these drug substances is not good. And that is the propelling force that moved me to join this organization in the war against illicit drug. Because people who don't know the effect of it just think that when they take it, they feel okay, they feel cool, they feel fine. But it is not. One of the things trending in Nigeria is cyber crime. This is when young ones diverse into other means to gain wealth. What do? They try to operate their mobile devices in order to scam people of their money. And interestingly for me to tell you, they cannot do this on a normal day, because I cannot just come to you, walk up to you, and all of us have conscience. We have consciences, so you cannot just go into, let me just scam this person of his money. But they need something to move them to do that. What is that? They take drugs. It is this drug that propels them to do it, because I've seen instances. There are even junctions, there are streets, there are places where this drug are being sold. When I ask, where are you going, he said, oh, I need to take this because I cannot scam someone without something moving me. I need to get inspiration, I need to get something to move me to do it. You see, most of these people who engage in armed robbery, in kidnapping, they don't do it on their normal senses. They take something. Look at the movies that we watch. You see them, these dons, you see them. They take it, they feel, now I have the energy to do this. So that is what actually moves them to do it. So if we can try to curb this menace, it's the economy will be stable and the society will be free and fair. The truth is this, which is the undeniable truth: we cannot totally eradicate drug abuse. We cannot, but we can try to curb and minimize the effects if we use the proper channels. And that is the situation, and we've met a lot of people who are even recovering. So if you are in that kind of situation, you are already an addict, don't think that you are hopeless. There is still hope. You can try to talk to a physician. You can try to talk to someone trustworthy. Sometimes you say, if I tell this person, how is it going to be, how is he going to view me that I am an addict? You need to be honest with yourself. If there are friends who are taking these drug substances that you are associating yourself with, you need to dissociate yourself with them. And that is when you start helping yourself. Because if you keep working with them, you cannot stop it. You can't. It starts with, they say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. That is a proverb right here. And if you keep working with them, you will keep taking it. But the more you distance yourself with them, the more you start getting help, and the more likely you will recover from it. And as time goes on, there are different testimonies. Don't say that your situation is hopeless. You are not hopeless. You will get from it as time goes on.
Interesting. There are two, 3 points which I like to highlight. First thing, yes, I never thought the way you mentioned that youth, majority of the youth all over the world have insecurity about the job prospect, and there is a lot of unemployment globally. So we can't deny that fact. But when you mentioned that, yes, we have a consciousness and we understand what is right and wrong, but because of the situation that we find ourselves, we try to take some external help to make the decisions which we are doing and justifying our act. So in that case, people are taking drugs to boost themselves up and thinking on a very linear stage so that they can scam, like you mentioned. So that's a really good insight. I never thought about like that. And my next question to you is that you are also very young, and I didn't knew, we had a lot of conversation way before this, and I never knew that you were at one point of your time you were selling drugs. So you have shifted. My question to you is, what happened? What changed within you? Because it is easy, you knew in and out, and it is very powerful when when you are friends with this big men, big gang people, whether it's men or a woman, you feel powerful. It is very, very intoxicating, and as well as very exciting. What happened that you chose to shift, and why are you trying to create the awareness? I know the awareness is important, but why? Because everybody's like, yeah, we know, and it takes a hell lot of efforts to do that. And in your age, most of the people are completely lost, and you are like, you are in a pond where everything is toxic, and you are trying to be that lotus in the pond. So how are
Mm.
you balancing that act? I would really like to dive deep into that subject.
Thank you so much. The truth is this: when you are with people who you work together with, at that point in time when I was into these drugs of 18, although when I'm with them, you see us laughing, we smile as if we are happy, we make money from it. But when I am all alone inside, that happiness is not there. that joy is not there. That emotional feeling of Samuel, I'm like, Anali, what you are doing is not right. Do you know that? I try to stop, but because of the benefits, well, what I get from it, I like, how can I just stop this? So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because it was a family business to say. It was a family business. So leaving that source of income, then if you go out, what will you be doing? What will you live on? It wasn't easy, but I saw the effect that these drug substances is having on people. Even those that I said to, I see how their life is. They are not too good, they are not happy. Just as I've mentioned, they exhibit some traits that is not pleasant to the hearing. You see some, when they get high, they start misbehaving on the streets, and they start roaming, they shout, they become violent, they become toxic. I said, Anali, you this is not the life you want. What if you get a spouse, you get a married mate today? How will it be? What lessons will you relate to your children? How will you be treating your married mates at home? What view do you want people in the society to? How do you want the people in the society to view you? I'm trying to see that what I'm doing is I'm just having gain for myself, but how am I contributing to the society? I'm not contributing. I'm not making any impact in the society. I'm just benefiting myself, which was a selfish interest. So I saw that I needed to make an impact. I needed to do something that people will really appreciate. People want to make a change, but how do they go about it? Although it is not easy, but there is a point in time in your life where you just need to accept some things that you can't change. There is a point in time that you need to accept some things that you can't change. So at that point, I saw that I needed to make a change and I needed to stop. So I told myself, Anali, you need to stop this. And I tried, and overnight I stopped. Although not knowing what to do next, not knowing where to go next, but I just stopped, knowing that stopping would mean I'm doing the right thing. And to say I'm a Christian, and at one point in time when I started studying deep into the Bible, I saw that drug is not good. It's not good. Apart from the effect it has on your body, it also affects other people as well. If you are taking drugs, the effect is not on you alone. Imagine someone who takes drug then goes to the road and starts speeding. When accident happen, you are not affected alone. You can just hit someone, then you cause casualties, then you kill people. Then I see that the effect is not on myself alone, but it also affects other people. It's also interesting to know that those taking drugs, like those smoking, the second hand smoker have more problem than the first hand smoker. Like now, if I smoke and you don't smoke, if you're just sitting beside me popping out that smoke and you inhaling it, the effect it has on your body is more than what it has on my body. Because popping out smoke, it takes it with carbon dioxide. We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide mix with the smoke and you inhale that into your system, it has more effect on the system. So I see that the rate of people dying, the rate of people getting unemployed, the rate of people going to jail, and I see that most of these people involved in cultism, they form an occultic group where they claim that they are the boss of the street, but what did they do? They are violent. When you see they want to rig election, they are the one that will be there. They go rig election, they go do this, they go do that. So I say that this is not good at all. I need to go against this. I need to create this awareness. Young people of my age don't know this. Some who are not into it may feel that this is something really good. I've been into it, I know it. So that is why I need to go out there and tell them that, my dear, this is not good. Don't go into it. At first, you may feel that this is good, it is okay. But when you go into it, then you will realize that it is not good at all. So instead of you to go into it and find it difficult to leave it, I try to create this awareness that it's better you don't go into it. It's not that we don't just tell them that don't go into it. We show them the consequences for them. Normally you can't make decisions for people. I can't decide for you. I cannot tell you, Pooja, don't take this. Pooja, you cannot do this. Because when I tell you not to do this, you may not do it when I'm there because you fear me, but when I am not there, you will do it. So we try to explain the reason why they shouldn't do it. They should see the reason why they should not go into it. So when they see the reason, they compare, they contrast, and they will be able to come to a reasonable conclusion. Really not good. I should not go into it. It is terrible. It is so bad that I should not go into it. And
Anali,
for like 3 years now, I've been working on this, and it's better you don't go into it than going into it, then now trying to find solutions to coming out. So when they tell you it is good, it is cool, you are not into it. If you are listening to this podcast, you are not yet into drugs. When someone is telling you go into drugs, there are easier way. One, you can be honest with them, and I don't take it. You can just be honest with them. Two, you just keep saying no, no, I don't want it. Just make your stand known to them. And if they are bringing the subject of this drug, take it, you can just try to change the subject immediately. Change the subject. You are not interested in the topic, and you can try to make an excuse when they are bringing, oh, can you take, oh, no, no, please, please, oh, I have a call, I have to go now, so if you are not into it, just try to use these steps and try to help yourself not to go into it. And if you are already into it, you need to find help. Number one, you need to avoid places where these drug substances are being sold. You need to avoid those places, because the more you go there, the more you will feel like taking it. And if you have these friends who always, you know that when you go there, what you will do is take these drugs. You need to dissociate yourself with them, because if you do not dissociate yourself from them, you will keep taking it, because they will keep encouraging you to take it, and you will have no choice but to take it. You try to know the temptation. You know that if you go and visit, or you know that if you keep watching this TV program that focuses on these drugs, you'll be tempted to take it. Or if you go to this particular location, you'll be tempted to take it. If you know the temptations involved, try to put them down. Then when you know those temptations, then you try to avoid those temptations that will take you into it. Another thing is for you to learn how to cultivate this habit of not taking it. Some people, they are already used to it. If they want to relax, some say, oh, if I want to relax, I take drugs before I can feel relaxed. If I want to engage in any sporting activities, I need to take drugs to help me do it. It's of not using these drugs for those activities. You need to try to find alternatives that will help you. Instead of taking drugs, what can I take in order to help me engage in these activities that I want to do? Not necessarily you take drugs. If you don't take drugs, you won't die. You see, most athletes who take drugs, no, not even most athletes, all athletes who take drugs before their game, you see that they are penalized for it. Some are being disqualified because they take drugs, because this drug enhances them to do a little bit better during the course of the game, but after it, the effect is so bad. So they don't encourage it at all. If you want to compete in a game, be your normal self. Normal senses, you should be in your normal senses. Then let us compete in our normal senses, not that you take something that propels you to do more better. That is cheating, and it is not good at all. So these are some of the solutions and some ways you can try to avoid drug,
Thank you so much, Anali.
illicit drug
Whoever
for that.
is listening to this podcast, if you know somebody who is in need of such guidance, please share this. And if you are into this, don't worry, there's still hope for you, and a lot can be done. You can try reach out to people around you who you trust, or you can go to such organizations like in Nigeria, Anali is doing so. Somewhere in any every part of the country, someone is there who is ready to help you and support you in your healing journey. So thank you, Anali, for that. My and at the same time, I would like my viewers and my listeners to know that Anali is also working with international organization. He's going to UN and raising his voices. So this is not a very small thing. He's trying to battle which most of the people think that is a lost cause, and he is not standing on the other side of the bridge where we only think about the positive aspects and we don't really understand the negative part of it. So he's standing right in the middle where he has seen both the worlds, and he understands both the demographic and what they think and behave. So that's a very big cause. At the same time, he's very young, so I really really support you in this cause, and I hope that your voice reach to the right audience and inspire something in their consciousness to bring that positive impact and change which is truly required in this 21st century. So thank you so much, Anali. Is there any last thoughts that you would like to share with us?
Yes, yes. I want to say something very funny. It's somehow funny. There are some drug dependent persons that were receiving treatment. So there are about 10 of them. So the person giving them the treatment just comes in, wanting to know if they are okay and free to go. So he now drew on the board a dog in a cage. He drew it on the board. So he now asked, he said, please, can you go and open the door, the door of the gate, so that the dog can come out? That is actually a drawing. So about four of them just went to the board and trying to open it. Then the doctor said, oh, these people are not yet okay. So he saw the remaining six. Why are you not going? Four of them said, no, if I go there, the dogs will bite me. So later, the remaining two, he now asked, oh, I think these people are now okay. He said, these remaining two people, they are okay. Now said, so why are you not joining these people in opening the gate for the dog? Do you know what they said? They
No.
said, do you know that the key to the gate is with me? So then the doctor said, no, 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 these people are not stable at all. So the thing is this, it is not easy at first, but let me tell you this. It may be difficult, but never impossible if you don't relent, if you don't give up. It is not easy. You try battle with changes. No, the problem is most of these people who engage in drug is as a result of the social economy, as a result of parental problem, as a result of peer pressure, and as a result of poor academic performance. Some go into this drug. But if you are in this situation, don't think taking drug will be the next step you need. If you are having poor performance in the schooling sector and you think taking drug is what will help the situation, it won't help the situation. It will always make you dull. You know, some people say, oh, when I take it I become more sharp. That is not the truth. Building confidence comes from within, not from drugs. It comes from within. So any problem that you are facing, try look for appropriate solution to the problem. Drug is not the right solution to any problem that you are facing. You need determination in order to be able to do this. Determination is very, very important. Some people say determination is when you say you will do this. But to me, I don't think determination is when you say you will do this or you will achieve your goal. I define determination as when you don't allow anything to stop you from achieving that, achieving your goal, when you don't allow anything to stop you from achieving it. Because when you simply say I want to achieve my goal, some things can come in and say, oh, I can't really do this, I think I cannot do this. But when you don't allow any blockage, any roadblock, anything to stop you, that is determination. You really want to get there. So when you are determined and you have that propelling force behind you, I tell you, you will actually reach that goal of stopping this drug consumption and violence. You can try from your anywhere you are, be it anywhere you are in the world that you are listening to this. You can try to make that change start with you. If you have friends who takes drugs, when you see friends who are taking these drugs, try to tell them the effect. You can make your personal research. We have research engine, we have Google, we have Chrome, we have other research engine that you can make researches. Know the effect of these drugs and try to advise them. Tell them, just try to do your part. When you keep advising them, they don't heed advice. You can try tell them, okay, if this doesn't work out for you, try see a physician who can help you. And if you see that they are not taking any move to stop it, it is good you dissociate yourself from them. If not, you will just go into it and start taking it. So we need to all work together collectively. I am very young, very, very young, and I'm passionate about what I'm doing. What I am doing is not just limited right here in Nigeria. I'm just working towards going to other places, because in my organization we are working on providing healthy alternative lifestyle to those people who take drugs.
Thank you, Anali, for sharing your thoughts. And in your country, your government is also helping you to spread that awareness. At the same time, you are creating this awareness on a global platform also. So, thank you for giving us the time and creating much more awareness through the podcast series of social entrepreneurships. And I'm really glad that we have met through our mutual, what do you call, exploration of entrepreneurship in general. Thank you so much. And yes, I would really like people to know what the venture that you're doing and the cause that you're fighting for. And I'm really, really happy that we are in this together in a global platform, in a collaborative way. Like you said, we need global collaboration to bring the change that we are looking for. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. And we'll end our podcast at this note. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.